Hey, good morning, guys. This is Greg Bridges with Trading the Pip. So today is April 9th, 2021. I want to do an account update. I know I haven't did one probably since maybe February time frame. I want to do them every month, but hey, man, time, kind of gets away from us. Anyway, current value of account $8,297.90, and between stocks and options, we have about $7,523.08. And in cash, we have about $774.82, which is probably wrapped between some cash secured puts and a little bit of cash, right? So as we scroll down, we'll go ahead and get right into it. PBF Energy, right? One of the ones that I always talk about. I really like this company. It's a $35 company, but we don't know when it's going to make it up there. Energy sector is still trying to make its comeback. So it's been a long journey for PBF and a lot of the energy companies. Anyway, I'm not going to go through every single thing on this thing. I'm just going to hit our average cost, or our company name, our average cost, and total return. And then I'll go into whether or not the company pays dividends, so on and so forth, right? So PBF Energy, 100 shares, average cost $564, total return $847.90. Coty, 200 shares, got in at $689, $380 is the return right now. Azul Airlines, 20 shares, got in at $668, $299.20 is the total return. Goldman Sachs, 76 shares, $689 is where we got in at, $234.89 is the total return. Prospect Capital, 40 shares, got in at $503, $117.03 is our total return. Go ahead and scroll up. USO, 5 shares. They actually did a reverse split. That's why we only have 5 shares. $22.42 is what we got in at. $90.90 is the return. Denison Mines, a new one that we got into. 300 shares. $114 is what we got in at. $27 is the total return. Carnival Cruise Lines, 1 share. Always shake my head about this one. $8.75 is what we got in at. $20.27 is our total return. BP, British Petroleum, 20 shares. Got in at $24.12. $9.46 is our total return. They do quarterly dividends. We actually are receiving, I want to say, $6.20 quarterly. Limelight, free share that I received, $6.62. 0 is what we got in at. And we'll scroll up a little bit. Coast MLP, 25 shares, got in there $11.26, $3.50. They do quarterly dividends. I want to say we received $5.60. We'll scroll down just to show you. $5.63 on a quarterly dividend from them. Rolls-Royce, 400 shares, got in at $163. We're negative $23.96. Lipocine, 300 shares, got in at $165. $24.03 is what we're negative. GNUS brands, 200 shares, in at $197, negative $27. GTT, 300 shares, got in at $195, negative $60. So out of our 15 stocks, we're down on 4 of them, 23, 24, 27, and $60. So roughly a little bit over 130 bucks or something like that, right? So what we'll just average it out to maybe 140. So 4 stocks. And most people will probably look at the last 4, or even if you add in Denison Mines, you probably would say, hey man, why would he deal with GTT, GNUS brands, especially these 2? And what I would tell you about all 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, is that I'm doing monthly cover calls on them. So I purchased these in the share quantity that I purchased, 300, 200, 300, I think the other one was 300, in order to do 3 to 4 contracts at a time, in some cases 5, like with GNUS brands, because I have some buy calls, long-term buy calls, they call them leaps, in order to generate income on that monthly basis. So I don't want the stocks, I don't want to just buy a stock, and I'll click on GTT just to show you. I don't want to buy a stock, 300 shares, and I'm watching it do this. Go up, go down, go up, go down. Hey, we go through that all the time. We already know that I bought at 195, so if I buy at 195 and it's at 176, I'm negative, right? Cost $585. It's now worth $525. So what is it saying? I lost $60 of my value, negative 10%, right? Most people say, oh man, you effed up, right? You screwed up. No, that's not how I look at it. And the reason why I don't look at it like that is because, hey, you see it says I have 7 option contracts total with a value of $215. Today's return, $45. Total return, $75, or positive 54.57%. Let's scroll down here just to show you what's going on. GTT for the 250 call option, $5, right? -5. My credit was $130. So they paid me $130 up front to say I'll sell at what? $2.50. It hasn't made it $2.50. It probably won't make it $2.50 by expiration date, April 16th. So if it hasn't made it to $2.50 by April 16th, this contract is going to expire. My shares is then released. Those 300 shares are released. And regardless, I get to keep the 130, as you can see right here. But I now go on, click on view all options, and I submit the same option. May 21st, $2.50, just saying that I'll do that. They're going to pay me 23 cents or $23 per 100 shares, right? So what do I have? I have 5 contracts. We'll clear this out. $23 times 5 contracts equals $115. Remember, they already paid me $130, so I'm going to add that $130 to it just to show you what I've made in 2 months. $245 from the deal that I actually spent. What did we spend? $585. So we spent $585. We picked up $245. So we'll just do this. We'll clear it. 585 minus 245 equals $340. So it's $340 still left on the table in terms of what I've spent. So we'll go ahead and clear that off. And what we'll do is we'll click back on trade options. How many more months do we have left? That was May. We have August, we have November, and we have January, right? And then it's going to start all over again. We can start our contracts, right? So after this contract expires on May 21st, we give it 2 days. That's the weekend. We'll come back in on May 23rd to do our August contract. August contract is going to be bigger, right? You see they're offering us $50 for the 250, right? So if it still hasn't made it up in May to $2.50, they're willing to give us $50. So if they haven't made 250, they're willing to give us 50, and then we're gonna go 50 times 5, right? So once again, do the quick math. 50 times 5. I like to just show you guys $250. They want to give me $250 just to let it sit until August 20. And if it haven't made it to 250, hey, I picked up 250. All good. I could go further out if I wanted to. Go to November. Hey, they willing to give me 60. I can go up to $3 if I wanted to. During that time frame, August, I can go to $4, take less money, just because, hey, that is a big gap in between. So it may hit the 250 range. And what happens if the company goes up to $4 and we said we'll sell at 250? We missed all that money in between, right? So there's different ways that you can do this to generate income, but this is what I'm doing on a monthly basis to generate that income for me to offset what I've actually spent and bring in that money. So this is what I've done for GTT, Genius Brand on a weekly basis, Lipocine on a monthly basis, and Denison Mines right here, 300 shares. And I'm even doing it on Coty. And I'll go ahead and click on Coty just to show you guys. And you see our total return is 380. We spent 1378, right? You see I have 2 contracts right here. Not a lot of money for Coty, but hey, over time it does build up, right? So they gave us $8. Right now, total return is $8. The contract is going to expire today. We've already received our $12. So once the contract expires, hey, it's good. We're able to go back in, click on view all options, sell call, click on for the next week. Right now, for the $9, they will $9 play. They want to give me $13 dollars. So for my 200 shares, they want to give me actually $26. I'm not going to be selling for $9. I'll go for the $9.50 because that's the very least that I'll take, which means I'll take $16. 8 cents. I have 200 shares, 16 cent total, $16, right? So I'm willing to go $16. If I decided I didn't want to go for the next week off and I decided I want to go even over to April 30th and go at $9.50, they willing to give me 19 cents, right? So I don't think it's worth it to me to only take 19 cents. We can take a look at what that comes up to be. 19 times 2, and it's 38 extra bucks. So I don't think it's worth it to me to take 38 extra bucks, to wait till April 30th it's up to you on how you're going to do business. It may hit 950 during that time frame, and you sold off your 200 shares. I don't necessarily want to sell off my Coty shares because I believe it's going to go higher. So I'm not going to be doing it all the way to April 30th. So I'll take what they're offering me right here. I'll take those $16, and then hey, once it expires, we'll reassess where we're sitting at, and then maybe April 23rd, Coty is at 950, and maybe it's going up to $10, which means this is going to change. All the prices are going to change. So that's why I do it on a weekly basis with Coty, generate some income and go from there, right? So I'm doing it with Coty, I'm doing it with GTT, Lipocine, Denison Mines, GNUS brands. I'm doing it with all 5 of those in order to generate income on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, and offset what I've already spent in there. So I'm making money as the weeks go by and months go by, not just letting the stock sit there to go up, down, and waiting for it to hit a certain point, right? So we know we're at $8,299. We also have like PBF Energy, which goes up and down. It was $18 at one point. We'll show you. We'll go back 1 month just to show you. $18.55. So there's a possibility this thing goes back up to $18.55. We made another $300, which means our account value is gonna pop up. Let's say we just add $300 to it. That puts us at what, 85, 88. We'll just say 8,600 on top of the money that we're about to make from our covered calls middle of this month, right? So the middle of this month, we're going to make another $300 or $400 from our covered calls. So it's going to push us right around the $9,000 range. So we're hoping to go into the month of May with at least $9,000. And if we're not at the $9,000 range, we're going to be maybe $300 or $400 off from that. Maybe a little bit more depending on what the market is going. But we know that inside the month of May, we're going to receive another $300 to $400, which is going to push us in our $9,000 range. So we know that sometime in the month of May, we're going to hit $9,000. Going into June, July, we feel like we're going to be in the $10,000 range. And at that point, we're going to again assess where we stand with all our stocks, where PBF is sitting at, where Coty is sitting at, where all of these brands are sitting at, and we're going to figure out whether or not we want to hold, for long term, or do we want to say, all right, man, it's time for us to start liquidating shares. It's time for us to liquidate Azul Airlines and take that $299. It's time for us to liquidate a GER. I don't want to. I feel like we have more. We have more to make off of these, but at the same time, it's been a slow process. And where we have $234, $300, $1,000 all wrapped up in these different ones, we could actually possibly go ahead and liquidate, buy 100 shares of one company, let's say like a UTS or something like that. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. UTS. It doesn't have to be UTS. It can be anybody, but UTS, right? And we can take a look at them and say, hey man, UTS, they trade on a monthly basis, right? So right now they're only offering 16.8 cents, right? 16. And they travel in $5 ratios. So if we're picking a one for May 21st, that's $30, but they travel in a $5 ratio right here. So $25.71 we buy, and it jumps to $30. So we know right there that's a $500 difference plus $30 for those 100 shares. Got what I'm saying? So that's $530 what we would have been paid off between here and here. That's how this particular one works. We click on sell call just to show you. So that's a nice amount of money that would have been made if it makes it up to the $30 range. If it doesn't make it to the $30 range, we would have just kept the $30. So we would have spent quite a bit of money, $2,500, dollars roughly, quite a bit. But we want to, as time goes on, kind of move to more of the safer brands. $25 for us is actually kind of high, but there's other stocks that we can actually deal with. We got AT&Ts and so on and so forth. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. Hey, making money on a monthly basis, passive income, not just waiting for the stock price to do this, go up and down, up and down. I know the videos kind of ran longer than expected. Hopefully you guys learned something. You can do some covered calls if you want to, do a little bit more research. I have other videos on covered calls and things like that if you want to take a look at those. But hey, anyway, man, just wanted to thank you guys for paying attention, looking at the videos, and subscribing to the channel, liking the channel, so on and so forth. I really do appreciate it. You guys have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Bye.